Hey everybody, as you saw from that title, today we're going to be making a Jamaican style rice and peas. Now let's get started. Alright everybody, so we're going to get started with our rice and peas. So today we're going to be using small red beans. You can use small red beans, pink beans, or kidney beans. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open the can, and you can use dry beans. I sometimes do it, but it takes quite a long time. So I want to show you how to make it without sacrificing any flavor. This is a much quicker way. You can use canned beans, and trust me, you will not be sacrificing any flavor by using canned beans over the traditional bag beans. So we're just going to pour the beans into the pot, and what I'm going to do is rinse all of this juice from the bean off. I don't particularly like to keep it on there, so let's go ahead and put some water in there and then just drain it to get all that, kind of want to say, bean juice off. So just give it a quick rinse it twice. So now we have just our pot of beans. Right, so here we are back with just the pot of beans, none of that juice in here. So from here I'm just going to go ahead and add a can of coconut milk, and I'm going to be using the whole can, 15 ounce, 13.5, and this is the brand that I'm using today. And then I'm going to add some additional seasonings. So here we have some salt, onion powder, garlic powder. I'm also going to be adding just a couple of sprigs of whole thyme, so just get them right in there, as well as some red chili flakes and some allspice, the little allspice whole. Pop those in there, and what I want to do now is just let's come over to our stove, and what I'm going to do is bring this to a boil. So once the coconut milk starts to boil, right, so here we go, everything is in the pot. Once this starts to boil, then we're going to add our rice. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this to the boil, and then we'll be back. Okay, so this has come up to a boil, and as soon as it comes up to a boil, you want to go ahead and add your rice. So here I have 3 cups of parboiled rice that I have already rinsed. Make sure you wash your rice. So as you can see, you may be able to see the rice is wet because I actually washed it already. So let's go ahead and add in our rice, and again I'm using 3 cups. Alrighty, so we added our rice. Give it a quick stir. You don't want to mess with it too much because remember the beans were pre-cooked. So now at this point, what I did was I just took the can of coconut milk and I put water in it, and I just filled it. So I'm going to add like half of this for now. I'm also going to be adding a couple of sprigs of some scallion. And then I'm going to add a drop of browning. And this is really just to give it just a little bit of color. So I'm going to just do a half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. Right? And we're going to let this go on medium heat, not too high, because you kind of want to cook it slow, like medium. And we're going to cover this, and I'm going to go ahead and set a timer for like 15 minutes. And you want to come back and just check it occasionally after the 15 minutes, so we can let it go for 15 minutes on medium, and then we will come back and check on it. Okay, our rice has been going for 15 minutes so far, and as you can see, it is almost there. What I did also is added a Scotch bonnet pepper. Not for spice, just for some additional flavor. So I just put it on the top and just let it just simmer in that pot for the 15 minutes. So now what you want to do is just give it a stir. Watch the pepper. You don't really want it to bust. Careful. You can even remove it, which is probably a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and remove it and maybe add it back, but just give it a stir. Go all the way down to the bottom. And as you can see, the rice is pretty much there. Not sticking. Your beans are still whole, not breaking apart or mushy. This is what you're looking for. So what you want to do now is just go ahead and give it a quick taste. So taste, take one of the grains of rice. And let's see if we need to continue to cook. I would say this needs to just simmer on low, extremely low. Go ahead and put that pepper back in there for 5 minutes. I'm literally going to set the timer for 5 minutes and then I will bring y'all back. All right, so after an additional 5 minutes of simmering on low, this is what our rice is looking like. It is completely cooked all the way through, not sticking, not mushy. And what we can do at this point is go ahead and remove these thyme stems. The thyme leaves have come off. They've boiled into the rice. They've done their work. We don't no longer need these huge stems in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just take those out. You can also remove the pepper at this point. Right? And if you see, I'm stirring all the way to the bottom. It's not sticking. It's not mushy. All the grains for the rice are nicely separated and whole. And our beans, have you noticed? They're not mushy at all. They're still pretty much together. And the key is to really not overcook them. So again, and as far as moisture, let's recap what we did. We used a whole can of coconut milk. They used to be 15 ounces. As you probably noticed, they've decreased size on everything in the supermarket these days. It's now 13.5 ounces for the coconut milk. At least this brand is. We've used a full can of this and about 3/4. I just filled it up with water and I used about 3/4 of this water. I did not use the whole thing, with 3 cups of rice, and that is it. You don't need to overpower the pot with a bunch of water. It will take forever to cook. Your rice will be mushy, and you really want to cook it on medium for 15 minutes and then just bring it to a simmer for the last 5, and this is perfectly cooked and ready to plate. All right, everybody, so here we have our plated rice and peas. It is nice and done. All of the rice grains are nicely separated. It's not all caked up together, and our beans are pretty much still whole. Look at that. This is how you want it. This is absolutely scrumptious, and it can go perfectly well with any of your other Caribbean dishes, such as jerk, and some people like it with curry as well. Now that is how you make a quick and easy and yet flavorful Jamaican style rice and peas. Of course, you can start with bagged beans, but really nowadays, I don't really have the time or the patience for cooking rice and beans for an hour and a half. So you want to do it quick, you can start with a can of beans and you will not compromise at all on flavor. It is delicious. Hopefully you liked it. Give it a thumbs up. If you make it, let me know. Leave me a comment. Don't forget, again, to subscribe, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.